Hey, I'm Jasper J, and today I wanted to talk about my best tips for traveling. I've traveled a lot. I think my first time on a plane was when I was like 2 or 3 months old. I've been on about 4 planes every year, if I were to guess. I flew with this cat from Oregon to Chicago. It was a very long day. She didn't meow the entire time. It was a great flight. Everything went super well. She's gonna be sitting here with me for the whole video. I've traveled to Costa Rica, I've traveled to Canada, I've traveled to Hawaii, I've traveled from coast to coast and back again. I've done 3 transfers in a day. I know how to travel. I have done a lot of traveling, and I know a lot of tips and tricks and secrets and weird things that people just don't know about on planes, and I want to tell you because they're great tips. And I have a lot of tips that I don't see very commonly around the YouTube sphere and just suggested to people when they're thinking about flying, when they're booking a long flight. And I just want to give you some ideas about how you can make flight less stressful, more fun, just more easygoing. I'm going to start with some great tips, and then at the end I'm going to have how I pack on my carry-on bag, because I feel like that could probably be a video on its own, because there's just so many nuances to what you should and shouldn't take. My very first tip is very radical as far as the internet goes. I've heard it before, but I'm gonna say it again. Wait until your name is called to board the plane. So after you go through security, you're gonna be waiting around near your gate, and so is everyone else who's getting on the plane. They're gonna call the number, they're gonna call the like, oh, group A can board now, oh, priority boarding. That stuff doesn't really matter. As long as your ticket has a seat on it, and it should, most planes have that system going on, it doesn't matter how soon you get on the plane. All that getting in that line means is that you're going to wait in a line packed against other human beings, slowly creeping down the aisle until you get to your seat. Then you're gonna force them to move, make other people back up and get closer to each other. Then you're gonna get in your seat and have to wait for everyone else behind you to board while you're already crammed into that little seat you're gonna be in for maybe a few more hours, maybe a lot more hours. So even when they call for your group to board, you can just stay wherever you are, keep your headphones in, keep watching YouTube, enjoy the Wi-Fi while it lasts. So even when they have your group boarding, just stay wherever you are, enjoy the Wi-Fi while it lasts, and wait for everyone else to go through line. I have legitimately waited until they called my name over the loudspeaker before I go and get in line. It might seem stupid, it might seem like the plane's gonna run off without you, but if you've sat in an airport very long, you know they call people's names 3 or 4 times before they take off most of the time. So usually once they call for people to start boarding, I might take my headphones off and just listen, but I really don't want to stand in line. And then it's kind of the exact same thing as priority boarding, except for the opposite. Instead of getting pushed on there first and having no one in front of you, you can get on last and have only flight attendants and a few other people behind you. If you are in a middle or window seat, you are gonna have to have people get up, but that's just the same as most times when I've boarded, so it doesn't really matter. It's better than getting up for other people, because usually as soon as I sit down, I have cords everywhere. My second tip is kind of a money-saving tip, kind of a hack. It's about food. If you're going to order food on the flight, I recommend waiting until after they've already had the food cart pass and it's been a couple of minutes, hours, some time has passed. Because what I've found is if I request usually it's a snack box just because of the flight that I go on, I'll request a specific snack box. They'll say, hey, do you have any more in the back? And they'll say, oh, I'm gonna go check. And they'll come back out and they'll bring it out for me and they'll give it to me and then they'll walk away. And every time that I have requested a snack box when the cart hasn't been there, they haven't charged me for it. And I've waved them down and I'd be like, I'll be holding up my credit card and I'll say, oh, you forgot to charge me for the box. And they'll say, oh no, it's fine. I don't know exactly what this trick is, but it seems like if I'm on later night flights, the flight attendants just don't want to deal with it. If you think about it, they have to deal with all of the annoying people aside from you that are on the aisles, so it's just going to be a lot easier for them not to charge you, and you know, it can be good for your wallet. So might as well try it if you're going to order something anyway. My second food tip is it actually for the drinks. Did you know you can request the full can? So I found this out because I kept tipping over the little plastic cups, like when I had just a little bit of soda left in them. And so I found out you can actually request the full can, and you don't even need to say anything to them. You can just say like, oh, can I have the full can of ginger ale? They'll give it to you. And if you're embarrassable like me, I always say like, I tend to knock the cup over, and then they'll kind of like snicker, and then the people beside you might snicker, and it'll turn out well, and you'll always get the full can, and it's probably better for the environment too, so that you're not using all of those little tiny plastic cups. They will also give you a cup with ice in it if you ask for it. Like, can I have the whole can of soda and a cup with ice? They'll do that for you. They don't personally lose any money for giving you the full can. Travel with as little carry-on as possible, unless you're not bringing a suitcase with you. So if you're going to be on the flight just as a normal civilian with your luggage underneath the plane, it's gonna be so much more of a hassle for you if you have shoved 1,000,002 things into this backpack. It's going to be extremely heavy. It's going to be hard to fit under the seat, hard to put in the overhead storage. It's going to be hard to take out if it's heavy. It's going to cause everyone a lot of stress. Plus, you're not going to be able to find what you're looking for in your backpack. It's better if you just leave a lot of the stuff that you wanted to keep in there, just leave it out. If you want to, whatever book you're going to carry, put it in your suitcase and then download the audiobook. You don't want to read on the plane, like it's super dim lighting most of the time. You're gonna get a headache. These are my airplane headphones. They're skull candy. I'll leave a link to them in the description. I love them. These are this one thing that keeps me from getting a headache on the plane. Well, that and ibuprofen. But these help a lot. I really hate the sound of airplanes. I really, really hate it. And it also keeps people from talking to me if I'm not in a talking mood. You don't even need to listen to anything, just... I can't even hear if there's anything going on outside. It's just great headphones. I love these. And those are one of those things that you don't need to force into your backpack. You can just have them around your neck the whole time. And before I move on to the rest of the stuff that you should have in your backpack and should leave out of your backpack, I'm going to give you 2 more tips. One, wear lightweight clothes that are easy to take off and on. I like to layer, and a lot of the time I'm traveling to places with different climates. So let me break that down. You're going to want to have shoes that are easy to take on and off for security, a jacket that's easy to take on and off for security. This doesn't count as easy to take on and off. Buttons doesn't count. You need like a hoodie with a zipper that you can just take off really easily. Loose pants, not skinny jeans, maybe just regular jeans, not a skirt, just regular loose pants, maybe sweatpants, something comfortable that's going to keep you warm but you're not going to overheat in. Wear a short sleeves shirt with that layer over it. Don't wear any jewelry or anything. I actually always wear the exact same outfit when I'm on planes every time because I know that is the thing that is easiest. I don't lose circulation, anything like that. And people like to joke with me that that's also a really easy way to find me if the plane were to crash, is, you know, I'm always wearing the same thing, so just look for that specific shirt and pants and there I am. Another thing with airplanes, the reason why they're giving you water all the time is because it's extremely easy to get dehydrated on the plane. Extremely easy. That's why they wouldn't give you water for free. You're in the air. It's not like you can get it from anywhere else. They would charge you for water if they didn't know that it would, like when you get dehydrated, you're going to get grumpy and you're going to leave them bad reviews, so they know to give you water. So drink the water. Either bring your own water, and yes, you can bring your own water. You can bring a reusable water bottle. That's on the packing list. Bring your own water bottle. It's going to save you $15 and a headache. Bring it. The last tip before we move on to packing your carry-on is about suitcases and under the cabin, like items like that. I don't know what airline you're gonna fly, but most of the time, if you bring your suitcase and it's over the 50 whatever pound limit, they're gonna charge you quite a bit of money. Turns out it's usually more money to have a bag that is overweight rather than sending 2 bags. It's usually like a $50 fee or something ridiculous where it's only $25 to check a bag. At least with my, I think it was American Airlines that I was flying when this happened. And I happen to have my parents with me. If you have anyone driving you to the airport, or you have anyone that can come with you, have them bring an extra suitcase. If your suitcase is too heavy, unload some of that stuff into the other suitcase, or just have them take the stuff home, because it's going to be cheaper to fly with 2 suitcases than to fly with one overweight one. So this is the backpack that I always fly with. It's a JanSport backpack. It's a pretty normal backpack. It's good because it can fit under the seat or in overhead. You definitely always can bring 2 personal items, but I usually try to bring just one unless I've brought a suitcase that's just a few pounds over, and then I try to like take some stuff out, like put it in one, put it in the other. That's only if I don't have a friend who can come with me to be my backup suitcase support, bring that suitcase, and then if I don't need it, they can take it back. Just a suggestion. But let's jump in to what you should and should not bring on your carry-on.